Angelo.
Okay, thank you everybody. Good morning or good evening or whatever time it is in your country. I'm just looking for my glasses, but here, thank you. So thank you everybody. I'm very happy to meet you again online, and I am here in Turkey this time with Professor Cengoglu here in this room, and you can see him. Perhaps I don't know whether you can see him. I don't know. No, perhaps not. But anyway, he's close to me. I'm not in the best in organizing a webinar. And so practically, I'm here also to discuss with them on the update of the next World Buiatrics Congress, and we will Idir will give a very short presentation of the state of the art at the end of this seminar. But we start immediately with our webinar. I am very happy because today we really go far away from Europe, from this part of the world in China. And I'm happy that today all the webinar has been organized and will be presented by two very important colleagues, but I'm happy to say two very good friends of mine and friends of the World Association for Buiatrics. Therefore, the webinar is focused on China, on ruminant production. You know, as usual, we split the webinar in two parts. The first is presenting the situation in the country, in this case, China. And the second part is a scientific part, and in this case, will be on postpartum hypocalcemia. Therefore, immediately we start with Professor Bo Han. I would like just to introduce shortly him. He is also a member of the Board of Governors of the World Association for Buiatrics. He got the degree in Ningxia University in Chuan in 1989, and then he got the master degree at the China Agricultural University in Beijing, where he is now based. He is a full professor, and since 2005, and he established the mastitis reference laboratory at the China Agricultural University in Beijing, and his main research focus is bovine mastitis, reproduction of the other diseases in the health, in the production, and so on. Also with particular interest in Mycoplasma bovis, and of course antibiotic resistance. So all the consequences and the impact of this kind of diseases. As already mentioned, he is a member of our Board of Governors. So Bo, please, the floor is yours. Thank you, and you are now going to present the situation, the current China's ruminant industry. Thank you, Bo. Please, thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor.
We see your screen, but it's still in the work mode. Yeah, now it's the presentation mode. Fantastic.
It's okay, Dr. Peter.
Yes.
Okay.
Now it's fine.
Ladies, gentlemen, President and General Secretary and all members, thank you so much to join in the WAB webinar. My name is Bo Han from China Agricultural University, Beijing, China. Today, I try to present entitled Introduction of Current China Ruminant Industry. I will present 4 sections. Section 1, ruminant species and population in China. There are 4 kinds of cattle in China. First one is Yaker. The number is about 16.2 million heads. The world global number is about 17 million. Second, dairy cow. In China, the number is 9 million. The global number is about 278 million. Third, buffalo. The number in China is 27.43 million head. The global number is about 205.2 million. Well, the beef cattle, the number is about 100 million. The global number is about 940.37 million. The sheep, goat, and other species population in China, sheep number is about 182.94 million. The goat number in China is about 117.55 million. Chickens in China, mainly distributed in Shanxi province, it's about 12,000 wild. Giraffe, also distributed in Shanxi province, it's about 50,000 wild. Goro, over 15,000 in the wild. It's distributed all over the China. Cereals, Naria, it's about 15,750 wild, distributed in Ningxia province of China. The ugly, over 100,000 wild, distributed in the Tibet and the Xinjiang province. Surveyed species and their numbers. Service nipple is about 1.5 million domesticated, 15,000 wild, distributed in the northwest and northeast of China. Service elephants, the number is about 325,000 domesticated, 200,000 wild. Pierre David's deer, about 15,000 domesticated, 6,000 wild. The other ruminants in China is bucking camels. The number is about 400,000 domesticated, 880 wild. Dromedaries, the number around 1,000 domesticated. Tibet antelope, over 300,000 wild, distributed in the Tibet area. Alpacas, about 80,200 domesticated. Section 2. Current status of beef cattle dairy farm and consumption in China. The Chinese beef and mutton mainly used in Chinese hot pot. This is the Chinese typical hot pot style. The trends in Chinese beef production and consumption. Our beef consumption has been rising year by year, but the production cannot keep up, so which result in a gap of 3 million tons per year. Therefore, our policy is import from other countries like Brazil. Last year, we import 1.46 million tons beef. From Argentina, import 595,000 tons. From Australia, we import 306,000 tons beef. From Uruguay, we import 244,000 tons. Other significant suppliers include New Zealand and the United States, also contribute to China's beef imports. Section 3, challenges facing Chinese beef, cattle, and dairy industry at Strait. Challenges facing China's beef cattle industry, there are 3 factors. One is lower production efficiency. Second is high production cost. Third, industry downturn driven by multiple factors. The strategy for the beef cattle industry, the context is rising import, growing domestic output, weakening consumption, urgent action needed. So we try to curb excessive import. We strengthen domestic competitiveness. Particularly, we import high-quality breeds like Simmental, Angus, and Wagyu. Also, we try to promote industrial upgrading. Current state of bovine disease control. The general condition is frequent disease outbreaks, shortage of veterinaries and lower quality veterinary medicine, severe antimicrobial resistance. Also, persistent endemic disease like foot-mouth disease, brucellosis, and tuberculosis, no significant decline. Emerging infection disease like foot-mouth disease, South Africa T1 first outbreak. Please view the figure. This is the Chinese map. The South Africa T1 foot-mouth disease virus spread from Xinjiang province to Gansu province. At the moment, moved to the east area of China. It was took place on March 28, 2026. The mortality of young ruminants is over 50%. Milk production of lactating cow decreased 80%. Meanwhile, Mycoplasma bovis pneumonia also took place. Lumper skin disease report on August 2019. Patties ruminants outbreak on 2013. Albany disease causing calf deformity on earlier 2021. This disease result in 3 low and 1 high, lower birth rate, lower growth rate, lower productivity, and higher mortality as well as culling rate. This table shows us the top 15 dairy groups with yield more than 12 tons per cow last year. The first company is Jian Dairy Company. This company, the dairy cow number in the last 2 years was increased, as well as Ningxia Nongken dairy industry, and Inner Mongolia Haigo animal husbandry, the dairy cow number was increased, while the modern dairy husbandry dairy cow number was decreased, same as Shandong province Austrasian group and Liaoning Yuexiu Huishan dairy farm, as well as Xinjiang Tianrong dairy farm. The China's dairy farm model, it was skilled, corporatized, concentrated, dominated by large dairy group. The top 3 dairy herds, for example, Ura Dairy Farm has 330,000 cows. Modern Dairy Farm has 500,000 cows. Leyuan Dairy Farm has 210,000 dairy cows. The top 10 farms total dairy cow number is about 2.14 million. The average milk production is 12.82 pounds per year. The maximum number is 14.10 pounds. The highest daily milk yield per cow in China is 40 kilograms. It was from west of China. The second China's dairy farm model is high cost, moderately high yield. The third model is factory style management. The challenges currently in China's dairy industry include raw milk price very low. Right now, the price is about 3.02 RMB, equal to $0.44 per kilogram. Well, the cost price is about 3.20 to 3.50 RMB. So, which result in a loss of 0.18 to 0.48 RMB per kilogram. Second challenge is farm level eradication. Third challenge is manure and effluent disposal. The main reason for lower milk price are severe supply-demand imbalance, as well as disease took place frequently, like brucellosis, foot-mouth disease, and tuberculosis. Well, the advantage for the lower raw milk price bring a herd structure has been greatly optimized, made the small and medium-sized dairy farms struggle to survive. Some of them are knockoff. Made the large-scale groups has stopped expansion. Also, it makes the cow productivity and the profitability are shooting up. Made the milk quality has improved dramatically. The common dairy farm model worldwide, I give you 3 kind of models. US model, it was highly intensive, large-scale farms with steadily rising productivity. The European model is moderate size, intensive family farms. The Australia and New Zealand model is pasture-based. Well, in Chinese model, we give the example for modern dairy farm. In a modern dairy farm, there are 13 ranch distributed in China. Here is an example of Bamboo Dairy Farm ranch located in here. This is the Bamboo Dairy Farm. This farm has large cattle barns and has 80 rotor milking machine. It has the ranch's O-class silage harvester, has the hay storehouse, has the roughage and feed storage, has the feed staff and mastitis lab test room. The types of the concentrate include soybean, cottonseed, rapeseed, and flaking corn, and beet granules, and also DDGS. For the types of roughage in dairy farms include silage bark, Limus chinensis, alfalfa import from United States, rice straw, and wheat straw. Okay, section 4, our team contributed dairy farm. Our team is closely aligned with dairy industry. We held talk to series of high-end similar. In October 2023, we invite Professor Herman Bachmer from University of Calgary, Canada, focus on the creation of a China protocol for selective antibiotic therapy of clinical mastitis and selective dry cow therapy. We also invite Dr. Rita from University of Guelph, focus on cost down and efficiency up. On the 2025 March 27 and 28, we talked to Professor Pamela Ruig from Michigan State University, focus on building a digital and intelligent mastitis management model for dairy cows. In the same year, we invite Professor Jessica McArt from Cornell University talk to Digital Intelligent Empowerment Closed Door Symposium on co-building a new China herd health management system in October of last year. In this year, we also invite Professor Angela Gentile from University of Bologna talk to from anatomy to clinical, the thoracic cavity disease on January 15, 2026. Our objective is try to build a AI veterinary for disease. This is the model I think most of the China and most of the world has focused on this AI production. Also, we held first new perspective of dairy health farming conference. The theme is new perspective of health dairy farming. We focus on disease prevention, control, and health management, as well as production efficiency in dairy cows. Last year, we held second new perspective on dairy health farming conference. The topic is showing case the shift from experiences drive to data drive care and from treatment to prevention. Our team contributed dairy farms, include 3 parts. First one, we build a bovine mastitis lab of College of Veterinary Medicine, China Agricultural University. Second, we identified pathogens, a total of 8,386 bovine mastitis milk samples collected from 609 dairy farms across 24 provinces in China between 2017 to 2024, and 7,318 isolates were obtained. We can see the figure, collected figure, please. This is the Chinese map. We have 31 provinces. We collected milk sample from 24 provinces. So a lot of province milk samples were collected. We use these isolates, published 95 peer-reviewed papers. We also found new pathogens as follows. Here is the new pathogens like Protocerca zoophy, Aerococcus viridans, Trupperella pyogenes, and its HCV, Klebsiella pneumonia, Streptococcus lutetensis, Nocardia cerea sigio ogica, Lactococcus gavia, Acinetobacter baumannii. We also found some very common pathogens like Staphylococcus aureus, Streptococcus agalactia, Dysgalactia, Ubarris, and E. coli. Currently, we focus on Mycoplasma bovis mastitis. Third part, we developed detection methods. We developed intelligent mobile app software system for diagnosis bovine mastitis. We build a bank of information database query platform for important bacterial pathogen cause bovine mastitis. Okay, summary. My presentation includes 4 sections. First section is overview of ruminant species and population. It was diversity in China. Second section, current status of dairy cow, beef cattle farming and consumption in China. We have big gap of 3 million tons beef. Third section, challenges facing Chinese beef, cattle, and dairy industry and strategy. For beef cattle, it was lower production efficiency, higher production cost, and industry downturn driven by multiple factors. The strategies, we try to curb excessive imports, import high quality breeds like Scimitar, Angus, and Wagyu. We also encourage integrated forage crop livestock system. For the dairy cow, the challenge is raw milk price quite lower. Farm level eradication of brucellosis and tuberculosis, manure and effluent disposal. The strategy is we try to optimize herds, eradication disease, and harmonious treatment and resource utilization. Our team contribute to dairy farms. We diagnose serious high-end similar. We dialogue serious new perspective on dairy health farming conference. And also we dialogue novel pathogen from bovine mastitis. Well, this is my presentation. Thank you so much for your attention. If you have questions, you try to point out. Thank you.
Thank you, Bo. Thank you for this really inspiring presentation on the different aspects and challenges of bovine production. I see that John Mee from Ireland, hello John, has some question. Perhaps some minutes for this question, Bo. So John asked, I don't know, John, if you like to ask directly, perhaps if you it is better even so we can hear your voice.
Yes, of course, Arcangelo, no problem. And
John, hello.
Good morning or good afternoon for you.
Good afternoon, Tommy. I meet you in Ireland, 2016.
Ah, yes, in WBC Dublin.
You host very excellent WBC. in there.
Thank you very much. My colleagues would be very happy to hear that. Thank you very much, Anbo.
Thank you.
We also have problems, as all Buiatricians do, with Mycoplasma bovis in cows and calves. Do you have M. bovis vaccines? And if so, what experience have you had with them?
Very good question. Together with the European company, maybe you know, Hypocalcaemia. Do you know Hypocalcaemia? We cooperate. Hypocalcaemia. We
Yes.
cooperate with them. We have the vaccine, but for the bovine mastitis, the vaccine has relatively lower efficiency. So we try to use selective treatment.
Okay. And for calves, do you find the vaccines any use?
Yes, for the mastitis, we use the E. coli vaccine.
Okay. But for Mycoplasma bovis in calves, do you find the Mycoplasma bovis vaccines of benefit?
At the moment, we just complete the vaccine, but we have not spread all over the China. We just used in a clinical one by one. Very small area, but this disease quite popular.
Yes, also unfortunately with us. My second question was, what does a typical intensive dairy farm look like? How many cows and what's their 305-day lactation yield?
Pardon?
So if you picked a typical intensive Chinese dairy farm, how many cows are on the site of one farm and what's the 305-day lactation yield on average of the herd?
Okay, excuse me. This question I will respond to you later.
It's okay. That's perfect. That's perfect. Thank you, Hambo.
Thank you very much for your last time. Give us very good and deep impression in Ireland.
Super. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Bo. Yes, I remember when we visited some farms there. The size is varies from quite bigger to small, big to medium to large size. But I think that you are going, Bo and Jian, to give some details more later. So thank you, John. I don't know whether there are some questions from the attendants. Otherwise, I would say we continue with Dr. Jian Gao. Thank you. We continue with him. Jian is Associate Professor of Clinical Veterinary Medicine at China Agricultural University, and also he belongs to the team of Professor Bo An, and therefore is also addressed on bovine mastitis, but also on dairy health management, infectious disease, and transition cow problems. And he works closely with the dairy industry and veterinary practitioners. We can say that he is the link between these big industries, these big companies that Bo has shown do exist in China. And he has a very good relationship, and he is doing a lot of activities for the postgraduate and education. So therefore, he is really the bridge between scientific research, veterinary practice, connection with the dairy industry. So therefore, now, Jian, please with your presentation on the problem, the typical problem of the hypocalcemia. You know that you have done some good result and you can propose some good insights and advices. Thank you, Jian. So the floor is yours.
Thank you very much for the kind words and the introduction, Professor Acciano. Yes, now I start to share my desk, okay?
Yeah.
You hear me?
Yes, perfectly.
Okay. Can
Yes.
you see my screen?
We see your screen. It's the PowerPoint in the working mode.
Okay. So first, thank you for the Professor Acciano's introduction for my career, for my working now. And good morning. Good morning or good afternoon or good evening for the professors and experts in the community. And
Could you please start the presentation mode? I think it's easier to watch if you start the presentation mode of your PowerPoint. We have your PowerPoint on the screen, but in the work mode.
So it's better?
No, it's still in the work mode. If you go on this little screen on the right lower end of your presentation.
Sorry.
No, it's not.
Okay.
No, we don't have your PowerPoint anymore. It's coming up again.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, that's perfect. That's perfect. Yeah.
Okay. So hello everybody. So my name is Jian Gao, and thanks Professor Acciano to give me this opportunity to introduce what I'm doing now. And I'm an associate professor from the College of Veterinary Medicine, China Agricultural University. And today I'm very glad to share a very important practical topic on dairy cow healthy management. Precision calcium supplementation. Do all multiparous cows really need calcium after calving? Yes, it's a very practice question that has been used in dairy farms for at least 20 years. But with the development of feeding management, we need to reconsider this traditional practice. On this scientific report, I will share the latest research results and a more scientific, more precise calcium supplementation strategy. First, let's start with the clinical problem we are facing in dairy production. We all know that clinical hypocalcaemia, which is commonly known as milk fever, is a classical metabolic disease in multiparous cause after calving. But what we often ignore is that subclinical hypocalcaemia is actually far more common and popular and more harmful in dairy herds. It affects a very large proportion of cows after calving, and it has no obvious clinical signs. So therefore, we cannot see obvious signs like muscle weakness or lying down from the appearance. However, subclinical hypocalcaemia has bring a series of negative effects. First, it will lead to reduced feed intake, so cows cannot eat enough nutrients. Second, it will increase the risk of postpartum disease, such as metritis, mastitis, and ketosis, and so on. Third, it will lead to lower milk production in early lactation, affecting the whole lactation performance. Therefore, the dairy industry worldwide have formed the same operation for a long time. Let me see. In most modern dairy farms, there is a very popular operation. All multiparous cows will receive oral calcium supplements immediately after calving, and usually this is not a single dose. Most farms, most vets will give a second dose within 12 to 24 hours after calving to strengthen the effect. the original intention of this practice is very clear. One is to prevent clinical milk fever, to prevent the lying down of the cows. And the other is to improve the health level of cows in early lactation, reduce disease, and improve milk production. This kind of blanket calcium supplementation has been widely used for, as I know, for at least 20 years. So, and almost everyone think it is a correct and valuable way. And there is a question emerging. With the improvements of feeding level and the management level, we found that things have changed. In today's well management dairy herds, including Europe, in the United States, and the world well, including China, and there's lots of well management dairy farms, and the incidence rate of clinical milk fever has been controlled at a very low level. As I know, so in China, for example, only about 1% to 3% for the clinical milk fever. Why can we achieve our low incidence? Mainly due to three reasons, in my opinion. First, the transition cow nutrition has been greatly improved. And second, the application of anionic salts in the dry period. And the third is the status as above, the calcium supplementation after calving. Under this background, there is a very critical question. Since the clinical milk fever is already very rare, and we give calcium to every cow after calving is still necessary? Is this really beneficial to our cows? This is a question we want to discuss or answer today. To answer this question, we must first know the new understanding of calcium metabolism biology in recent years. A number of recent long-term studies have shown a consistent result. That is, almost all cows will have a certain degree of blood calcium drop after calving, which is a normal physiological change. But the biggest difference between cows is the speed of blood calcium recovery and their own regulation ability. Some cows can recover quickly, while some other cows recover very slowly, and even some fall into persistent low calcium. The research of Professor Jessica McCart from Canary University, famous expert in this field, has clearly confirmed by her series of publications, and that is, the cow's own calcium regulation ability after calving is a key factor determining her postpartum health and milk yield. In other words, whether a cow can be healthy or produce high milk in early lactation mainly depends on whether her own calcium regulation system can work well and recover quickly. According to the treatment of blood calcium after calving, let's see the figure. After calving and recovery speed, Professor McCart divides all cows into 4 different steps. The first step is the cows always keep normal blood calcium. Looks the most healthy. We call it healthy cows. Is good. And the second type is transient subclinical hypocalcaemia, which is a short-term low calcium after calving when we test the blood calcium immediately. But then it can recover quickly by itself. For Jessica's research, her research, So it's the best cows with the good healthy and the best milking performance. And the third type is persistent subclinical hypocalcemia, showing low calcium states last for long term is bad. And the word is the cause, the groups, the cause is delays some clinical hypocalcemia. Let's see the green line. It's showing blood calcium drops and drops after calving within several days and recover very slowly. Is with the best is with the worst healthy status and the worst milking performance. So these four types represent different calcium regulation abilities, which also means that their need for external calcium supplements is completely different. Based on this new understanding, we put forward questions that sounds abnormal, even maybe a little unacceptable to many people. Will immediate calcium supplementation interfere with the cow's own calcium regulation system? We all know that the body has a self-regulation mechanism. If we give a lot of external calcium immediately, will it make the cow's own regulation system lazy and unable to active normally? To put it more directly, are we really helping our cows, or are we only helping some cows and even causing bad effects on other cows? To verify this hypothesis, we carry out a field study on multiparous cows with 2 to 4 parietes. We divided the cows into 2 groups. One group adopts the traditional blank calcium supplementation after calving immediately. The other group adopts no calcium supplementation as all after calving. The results we observed were very clear and make us surprising. The cows without any calcium supplementation showed faster recovery of blood calcium regulation ability, and their own system worked better. On the contrary, the cows that received immediate calcium supplementation after calving have a higher proportion of persistent or delayed hypocalcemia, as we said above, is bad status, and the recovery speed was slower. So this fully shows that calcium supplementation do help some cows, but for many cows, this blanket for all the cows to supplement calcium is not helpful, but is harmful at the herd level. So combined with the above research results, we found that the problem we are facing, I think, is not should we supplement calcium or not. The real question is, which cow really needs calcium supplements? This means that the traditional one-size-fits-all blanket supplementation strategy for all cows is no longer suitable for today's well-managed dairy farms. Blind supplementation calcium for all cows will not only waste the cost, with a lot of money, but also it's damaged the health of some of the cows. So what we really need now is, I think, is a word we can call it precision target calcium supplementation. Based on our field research, we propose is a primary operation of precision calcium supplementation strategy for 2 to 4 parity costs. The first step, let's be simply to introduce this. The first step is cancel the normal calcium supplementation immediately after calving. And the second step is measure the blood analyze blood calcium level on the 4th day postpartum. Is from the Jessica McCart's publication. It is 10 points is as a 4th day for the course. And the third step is supplement calcium only for course that's really needed and do not interfere in healthy course. So I think the whole operation is simple, fast, and can be completely quickly operated on the farm. After putting forward this strategy, actually during the past 3 years, there are one PhD students and 2 graduate students of mine to focus on this research topic. So we carried out field confirmation on more than 20 large commercial dairy farms in China. We compared the precision calcium supplementation strategy with the traditional blanket supplementation. The final results as nearly all the dairy farms show that compared with the traditional methods, the precision calcium supplementation shows at least 3 significant improvements. The first, the incidence of postpartum disease is lower, and the overall health status of the cow is better. So the second, the milk production in early lactation is a little higher, but there's no serious appearance difference, but a little higher, but it brings real economic benefits. And the third, I think, is most important for the clinical veterinarians is that the risk of clinical milk fever has not increased as all the farms, so which is very safe for this cause. In one sentence, precision calcium supplementation has greatly improved the health and production of performance of dairy cows. So finally, I want to summarize the core points for the experts. First, not all multiparous cows need oral calcium supplements after calving, maybe only part of them. And the second is that the most critical factor affecting postpartum calcium status is cow's own calcium regulation ability, not external supplements. And the third is that comparing with the blanket supplements for all the cows through our data, research data. So precision supplementation is more scientific and more effective. The above is all my sharing today. And thank you very much for the experts. And if you have some questions, I'm very happy to communicate with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jian. Very, very challenging situation, and I like, and then I will open the discussion because I see that there are some questions. I like, and I think should be considered also for other aspects. When you say that the one size fits all strategy is no longer appropriate, that is really the concept that should go out from our webinar, and that is valid for many other situations. And gives also more value to the work of the veterinarians. So the veterinarians, the Buiatricians should consider each situation as different from another, and therefore not say, okay, we use this strategy and from the beginning. So therefore, thank you, and I completely am happy for this. So now we go to the discussion. Then there are also some other questions for Professor Anna, but I say for the moment, remain on this topic. Let's see, there was John, thank you so much. I'm going down. Dr. August Calicici, which device do you use to measure ionized calcium? Which mobile devices would you recommend to measure ionized calcium on farm? Because at the same time, I think that John said this approach demands all cows are blood sampled and the results returned as soon as possible. This is impractical. And what about the milk fever cases? Yes, this was also my question. If you have immediately after partum a milk fever case. So Jian, and then John or also Dr. Calicici, if you would like to take the word, please, to have the word, please. So Jian, if you have some comment on these questions?
For the device to test the calcium, yeah. For the device we use to test the blood calcium, yeah. Actually, we use two different kind of equipment to test the calcium, and first is equipment from made of Japan. It's very smart and very convenient. And we after we get the blood from the cows, and immediately we can to test the blood calcium on the cow side. So another one is well, local is a local brand in made of China, yeah, but it's similar with Yapei. I think it's Yapei. It's a very it's golden standard to test the blood calcium. Yapei, but the price is very high for this, and also the local brand company to produce this equipment. It's very similar. Maybe it's a yeah. It's very similar with Yapei equipment here. But the Japanese device is very different, and it's just like a pen. It's very smart.
So you have immediately the result.
Thank you very much for Dr. Jian for this answer. Could you maybe later on share us the information of these devices? I would be really appreciate it.
Okay, and, no problem. So okay.
And if it's okay, I have another question. Did you consider the vitamin D3 levels in those cows which did not or which affected from the calcium supplementation negatively?
Oh, absolutely. There are some relationship between the vitamin D3 levels and the calcium metabolism. But we did not sorry. I can see what I'm saying. We did not see we did not test the vitamin D3. Yeah. But in my mind, there are strong relationship.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry. So
now we hear you.
Sorry. I think so. So John question about the fact that some cows can develop the milk fever before you check the calcium level. So what can you manage? How can you manage?
Okay, it's a very good question.
This was your question, John.
Yes, yes, Arcangelo.
Okay, thank you. It's a very good question. Actually, yeah, if we meet some occasionally, yes, we meet some cases for milk fever before we test the milk calcium, and if the cause laid down before the test, so absolutely we have to treat her, yeah, using the calcium, yeah. And but the result is that whatever the cause accepts the oral supplementation of calcium, whatever the cause received or not received. So the milk fever, the incidence rate of the milk fever there's no difference. Yes, this is no difference. Yeah. So, but another is that we just test the parities from 2 to 4.
2 to 4.
Yeah. About 4 because it's a very old cows and not old cows, but it's very high risk to suffer with the milk fever from the knowledge. So we didn't use the precision implementation for those costs. Yeah.
And Jian, in practice, is it the veterinarian or the farmer collects the blood samples? How is the veterinarian present at 4 days after calving for every cow? How does this work in practice?
Yeah, it's actually for the truth. Not all dairy farms in China not suitable to use these methods because in China there's a lot of individual farms and the farms belongs to the different dairy groups, big dairy groups. So some of the dairy farms they nearly to check the cost to stop the cost. To stop the cost and to lock the cost, to lock the cost and to check the cost within 1 week, nearly every day. So it's have enough time and have opportunity to get blood from this cost on these kinds of farms. But on the other farms, they never seldom to lock the cows, the healthy cows, especially except for that the cows get sealed and receive the treatment. But for the healthy cows, they just use maybe some the leg, some motoring system, the neck, yeah, something neck advice, something like this. So it's very hard for us to ask them to log the calls and to collect the blood and to test the hypocalcaemia. So for these methods, I think is only maybe primary operation methods. And I think the second generation of our research, we just use the AI, the intelligent monitoring system, and to get the cows who behave like the subclinical hypocalcaemia. And then we will compare the action, maybe the data from the monitoring system, and we test the calcium, and then we get the relationship between these costs. And then we will use the monitoring system to get the cows suffering with hypocalcaemia. Yeah, it's just the first generation as operation. So it's not suitable for all the dairy farms in China until now. Yeah, it's the truth. Yeah.
Excellent. And have you or will you publish your results you presented?
Yeah. We publish a paper. For the device. We use the Japanese device we use to test the blood calcium. And we have a lot of data, and we are preparing to publish this data on this year, maybe after August to September. And this year we try to publish on some GDS or GDS communication, something like this. Yeah.
Super. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
You in the chat, there were other question on the possibility of getting the results with the publication. Jian will be at the World Buiatrics Congress, therefore I invite all of you, if you will be present at the Congress, to look for him, ask directly for some further details. So the congresses are also have also these important functions. So I go rapidly to some other questions. There is one question from M. Celebi, is in addition, Murat Celebi. Murat. In addition to monitoring blood calcium levels, did you also measure urine pH levels? Do you think there is a correlation between these two values?
Yeah, we did not measure the pH levels, and yes, we did not. Yeah, but I think there's a relationship between these values. Yeah, because there's no device to test the urine pH values in China now. Yeah, we have to use maybe the paper for the colors change. So it's not data. Yeah.
Perhaps it's not so precise as a pH meter, but okay, this will be further study for you. Jian, then there is another question. I'm going back. I saw Jeron Vermeulen. Did you see more clinical hypocalcemia on day one? You already mentioned something. If you see more clinical hypocalcemia on day one, so perhaps the question is, did you see many clinical hypocalcemia, so milk fever, especially in, I would say, in these big dairy farms, that is large scale farms that you mentioned, is a problem in itself?
No. We conducted these trials on more than 20 dairy farms, but the condition, the standards of the farms request is there's no outbreak of clinical milk fever. Yeah, if there's the incidence rates of the clinical hypocalcemia is about 2%. So we don't know to conduct this trial on this farm. Yeah.
There is a prof, I don't know who is a prof, is a colleague. Is there any governmental policy to help the rural dairy farmers? We have a strong control on rural farmers. I don't know, Prof, where do you come? Where are you from? I don't know if Prof.
The question is for me.
Yes.
Professor Sanusi from Nigeria.
Hello, Sanusi, hello.
How are you?
Nice to see you. Nice to see you.
Yeah,
please.
Thank you. So,
please,
we have mostly rural farmers here. Most of the dairy farms are in the rural areas. We are just starting to have modern farms. We have a few of them, but we mostly work in the rural area. So we have a strong policy on rural farmers, dairy and beef farmers. So that policy is creating some problem, some hindrance, though the government helps a lot. So everything is mostly controlled by the government. Because we have fewer veterinarians, access to rural farms is very difficult. So do you have any policy to, like, say, make it easy for veterinarians to access rural farmers or farmers in rural areas to have access to veterinary services?
Oh,
Jian, can you? Yes, please.
sorry, General. This question is for me. I think it's very hard for me to answer this question. Yeah, very
Okay,
different.
how do you help rural farmers? How do you help them? Yeah.
Oh yes, you know, I enter. I'm a yeah, I enter into the dairy industry for almost 20 years. Maybe 10 years ago, there's still a lot of rural farms, family farms, very small, but during the past 4 years, I guess, no, nearly all the farms is controlled by the nearly maybe 80% of the farms. 80% of the farms has been controlled by the commercial dairy groups such as Yili and Mengniu. Now, Yili Dairy Group and Mengniu Dairy Group nearly the biggest one of the biggest one in the world. And there are still some maybe 20% of the farms belong to the personal and family farms, but these farms, because they are suffers with very strong challenge with dairy group farms. So all these farms are very big, still very big. General, I introduced this when I generally stay in China. For this farm, at least there are maybe more than 1,000 animals in this farm in the farms. Yeah, some individual farms, some rural farms. Yeah, sorry.
This is the answer also to the previous question of John. So you have these big farms, bigger than 1,000. So the family farm are getting less and less. So they are becoming fewer and fewer. Yes, but the question of Sanusi, Prof. Sanusi. So also for these small farms, there is no sort of governmental policy to help them. So the government is just waiting that they disappear slowly. So the future of them is practically already signed, is already fixed. Yeah, okay.
It's a problem in my mind. Yeah, big problem in China, in Chinese dairy industry. Yeah. It has been controlled by the huge dairy groups now. Yeah.
It's Sanusi, Prof. Sanusi, I hope to see you in Istanbul. I don't know if you are coming. I hope, yes.
Yes, I hope to come.
Yes, please join us in Istanbul. We have a lot to do with African countries. You know, I'm particularly interested. Therefore, we have to push the African countries in the involvement within the World Buiatrics Association. Thank you. I have a last question. Yes, and then we go also to young people, but I have Professor Mamo from Addis Ababa actually had also one question for Professor Anne. Mamo, if you like to take the microphone and ask directly to your two questions, if you prefer, so that then I don't need to read your question and you can explain better.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you, both presenters. And my question regarding the hypocalcemia, is there a breed difference among the different breeds becoming more susceptible or not, so that the more precaution is given to those susceptible ones? Have you seen any difference in the breed to susceptibility to milk fever? That's one question. The other question is the previous presentation regarding the brucellosis, which, I mean, the predominant species of brucella that circulate in the dairy system, or if there is the other in the melitons or others in the other species, I don't know, which strategy is implemented for control or eradication, as has been said. Thank you.
So Jian and Bo, please.
Yes.
So I will try to answer the first question. It's another problems in Chinese dairy industry is that we have only one brand, Holstein cow in China. Yeah, in China, so the Holstein cow is maybe 99%, and very few Jersey cows. I know that Jersey cows suffer with hypocalcaemia seriously, but in China, most of the cows are Holstein cows. There's no other brand for milking. Yeah, it's a problem. So all we trials based on the Holstein dairy farms. Yeah. And the second question, I think, yeah. Sorry.
Yes, is the problem of the globalization. Jian.
Sorry. Professor. Jello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you again.
Dairy cow globalization.
Arcangelo, you are nearly not hearable.
Holstein.
Arcangelo, your picture is frozen. Maybe you close your video.
We lost Jian. Well, if you are still online, the connection.
Yes. Professor, I can ask the second question. As the Addis Ababa University professor, he mentioned paralysis.
Yes, Bob, please.
Yes, you know, this disease in China, we try to test one by one, and finally we knock off the positive cases. And no way.
No.
We try to test one by one, and finally we knock off and use eradication. Right now, you know, we have 31 provinces. We have the example in Shanghai city. We use the eradication policy to knock off the brucellosis. For which dominant, so, you know, I'm focused on the bovine mastitis. I have no to pay attention to the brucellosis strains. So, sorry.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much for your good question.
Thank you. Now we have a question from a very young lady in Mekelle, in Ethiopia, Lielti. So I don't find the question. Lielti, do you want to ask directly? Otherwise, I read the question of Lielti. How can you explain the current?
Hello?
Yeah, please, Lielti. Yes, please.
Hello, Professor. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Professor Arcangelo. And for the presenter, my question is, how can you explain the current prevalence of the hypocalcium or milk fever in China? And also, how about in other species? I want to know about that. Thank you so much.
As a species, you mean ruminants? You mean sheep and goats, or?
Yes. It could be ruminant, or if there are any dairy, it could be other species of animal.
Okay, Jian, please.
Sorry, Professor, I didn't get the question so clearly. What's the prevalence of the hypocalcaemia in China? Well,
yes, how can you explain the current prevalence of hypocalcaemia? You mentioned that it's not so high.
Yeah. Okay. I try. Thank you for the question, and I try to explain this. First, I think the management of the transition period, especially before calving of the dairy farms in China, now is developed a lot. Where now is I think is at a very good level. So it's the most important thing. And especially we can keep the very very good body condition, and maybe how is it, the feeding and the stress of the course still control of stress and the feeding and the nutrition still at a good level, and especially we use the anoni salt, anoni salt, yes, before calving, within 21 days before calving. So I think is beneficial from this kind of control methods. And another one, I think is a question because Holstein cows, because I'm not familiar with other brand, but compared with Jersey cows, the Holstein cows, I think is maybe it's a little not so susceptible, not so sensitive to the hypocalcaemia. I'm not sure. But the management now in China, the management level now in China, in my mind, is very high. Is it's very, very good. Yeah. And the milk production.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. The milk production of Chinese dairy herd, I think for the average level for the milk production, at this year, at the beginning of this year, the report that 13 ton, maybe 13 ton for the average level in China. Yeah.
Good. There is a lot to study yet. Still a lot to study. So I think we have to move forward. There is a very nice question. Why is a disease called milk fever? This is a historical question.
Yeah. Why is disease called milk fever? Sorry. I'm not sure about this. Yeah. Very sorry that I can't answer this question. Lack of knowledge for this history. Yeah.
Arcangelo, we can't hear you. Maybe you
we will
switch off your video. You seem to have a low connection.
We will go. The discussion, because we are already out webinar. Computer of Idir. Yeah, you can come. Yes, I can put it here. I will open the. Let's just turn off okay. Yes. So. And this one. Shut on this one. Yeah. I don't know.
No, that's okay. Now that should be okay.
Now. So I moved to the computer of Idir because my connection was not good. So now just some minutes for an update on the Congress, on the World Buiatrics Congress, forthcoming World Buiatrics Congress. Therefore, thank you, Bo, thank you, Jian, for your wonderful, challenging, and inspiring presentation. I would like to ask Professor Hasan Batmas, the president of the organizing committee, to just share. You do the presentation. No, then I go back to Idir. He will give you a short update on the state of the art of the Congress organization. Idir, please.
Yeah, thank you.